Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Megan from Modern Moon Quilt Studio. And one of the fun parts of making the Happy Camper quilt is getting to cut quilt blocks in half. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that using this really cool fusible interfacing. In this video, I'm going to be cutting this quarter log cabin block in half. Now, when it comes to cutting blocks in half, you can certainly do it without any type of interfacing, and I've done that before. But when you're cutting blocks in half, you're cutting through seams, and you're going to be leaving those seams susceptible to unraveling. And those cut edges are going to be prone to stretching and warping, which we definitely don't want. Applying a fusible interfacing before cutting is going to help prevent all of that. I'm using this fusible interfacing by Make It Simple. It's a 1.5 inch wide fusible interfacing on a 15-yard roll, so this roll is going to last you a while. To get started, cut a piece of interfacing roughly the length of the block that you want to be cutting in half. So for this block, we're cutting it diagonally in half from corner to corner. So I just eyeballed a length of interfacing and then cut it to size. Next, you're going to flip the block over and you're going to be fusing this interfacing to the back side of the block along the section of the block that you plan to cut in half. So again, we're cutting corner to corner, so that's where I'm going to be applying this interfacing. When it came to fusing it to the back of the block, I just followed the instructions that came on the packaging of the interfacing. Now, this specific interfacing calls for you to use a damp cloth to help set the interfacing on the wrong side of the block. You're going to then flip it over, press again from the right side of the block using steam preferably. Make sure that you're pressing really firmly for a good 10 seconds or so. Check the interfacing, make sure it's fused really well. If not, you can just go ahead and repeat those steps if necessary. And lastly, just trim the little bit of interfacing that's hanging over those corners. And there you go. Look how good she looks. Aren't you so excited to cut this beauty in half? So first of all, take a deep breath. It's gonna be okay, I promise, trust me. Now to cut this block in half, take the longest ruler you have. This one is a 24.5 inch ruler that I'm going to be using to line up the outside corners of the block as best I can. And then I'm going to also do my best to make sure that the cut is running through each point within the block itself. And this is just going to help ensure that the two halves of the block are perfectly symmetrical. And then of course, when cutting, just make sure you're pressing really firmly on that ruler so that you're not slipping at all. That's the last thing we want, is to have a slipped cut. And then once you have that cut through, you can flip that over and see how that interfacing just holds everything in place really nicely and beautifully, and it's going to help prevent any stretching. It's going to keep those seams from unraveling while you piece this quilt top together. And there you have it. See, not that scary. So I hope this video helps. If you have any questions, just drop a comment below. I'm also going to make sure to link all of the products that I used in the description so you can get all the same products and the same interfacing that I'm using here. All right, thanks for watching.